Hey guys, what's up? We're back for another video, and today we're going to talk about some of the pranks I played on some of the nurses. Before you guys start to worry, it's okay. I was not being an asshole. I just needed to brighten up some of the spirits of the nurses around me with some pranks that were all in good fun. Alright, so let's dive into the first story. Alright, so this next story, I was not in a proper state of mind. I was just out of surgery. I was on tons of meds. I don't even know how I thought of this, but it's funny as hell. Alright, so the first one was a very simple prank, but I don't even know how I thought of it. I was on tons of medication. I was not in the right state of mind, and I don't even know how to explain this one. Alright, so I'm just gonna dive into the story because I have no idea how to actually start this. I'm gonna just try to explain it. Alright, so this one was right after surgery. I was in tons of pain. I was on loads of medication just to help with that. And the nurse was taking my blood pressure. Keep in mind, I was not sane. Alright, so the nurse goes to take my blood pressure, and out of nowhere, I just start mooing like a cow. I'm gonna give you guys a little example just so you can kind of, have an idea of what I was actually doing. Alright, so the nurse comes to take my blood pressure, and out of nowhere, I'm like, moo! Bro, I don't even know what I was thinking, but oh my god. So the nurse is super confused at this point. She's like, what was that? Like, what are you doing? And I just look at her straight in the eyes. No answer. So she's just like, okay. And she continues to take my blood pressure. And next thing you know, I'm like, moo! Bro, I feel like an idiot. Keep in mind, I don't even remember this story. My dad had to tell me the whole thing. That's how messed up I was. So the nurse is like super confused at this point, and she's laughing, but she's just like, what are you doing? Like, are you good? So I finally tell her. I look at her in the eyes and I'm like, well, I told all the doctors that you told me if I moo during blood pressure, it'll lower it. And she's just like, what? So she started rushing over from doctor to doctor, telling them that she didn't actually tell me that. So they're all like super confused. They're like, you never told us that. He never told us that. What are you talking about? And me and my dad are just laughing in the corner, like super confused, and start mooing together. Moo! Like, what, bro? So she comes back laughing, takes my blood pressure, and I start quacking like a duck. Alright, so this next story is super quick, super simple again, but I found it pretty funny. So I didn't actually get to see the results of this prank, but hear me out. So as you guys know, when you're getting a surgery, they have to knock you out so you don't feel anything. They basically put you to sleep. So while they were prepping me for surgery, they started to give me the shot to knock me out. And next thing you know, my eyes are starting to close. I start to pass out. But then, as soon as they thought I was passed out, they thought I was sleeping. Next thing you know, they were probably already picking up their knives, ready to slice me open. They get the scare of their lives. So as you guys remember, I'm passed out, but I'm not actually passed out. Ah! Like, next thing you know, they're jumping back, and then I actually pass out. So I didn't really get to see the results of the prank. I didn't get to talk to them about it after. But I'm really curious to know how badly I actually scared them. But I thought it was pretty funny, and I'm sure some of you guys will too. Alright, so this next story, warning, it's a little gross. Okay, maybe super gross. Oh my god. I can't believe I'm telling this. Okay. Alright, so a couple times a year, the nurses train student nurses. So the student nurses come in and they do a little bit of the simple things around the hospital. For example, helping people change, taking temperatures, taking blood pressures, heart rates, all stuff like that. So because it was a student nurse, I knew she didn't know much about me, so I saw an opportunity. An opportunity to mess with their minds. Alright, so the student nurse comes in and she's like, yo Marcus, we gotta take your temperature, we gotta take your blood pressure, we just gotta do your vitals. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. So everything's going well, she's taking my heart rate, everything seems normal, she takes my blood pressure, once again, perfect. And then it comes time to do the temperature. So she's about to put the temperature thing in my mouth, the regular. And I'm like, what are you doing? And then she's like, I'm taking your temperature, what are you talking about? And then I'm like, oh yeah, sorry, I forgot, you're new here. That's not how I do it. And then she's just like, what are you talking about? And she goes to put it under my arm. And then I'm like, no, that's not how I do it. So she's confused. So how do we do it? And I'm like, there's only one other option. So she's wondering what I actually do to take my temperature. So I tell her, I'm like, well, because of some sort of medical condition, I have to take it rectally. I warned you guys, it's a little weird. So she's like, oh, okay. All right. And she goes to get the lube. And like, my dad's in the room, he's trying his hardest not to laugh because my dad was okay with pranking them too. We found some joy out of it. So she walks over slowly and then she's like, initiation time, bend over. So once again, I'm trying my hardest not to laugh. My dad has to leave the room because he doesn't want to ruin the prank. So she's like super scared. She's like, what am I supposed to do? Do I have to do this? And she's about to do it. And I'm like, I'm just playing. Like, I start laughing my head off. My dad walks into the room and he's like, oh, he finally told you? Like, it was the funniest thing ever. I'm sorry, it was a little disturbing, but, you know, I gotta find joy somehow. Wait, that sounds wrong.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
That's not how I find joy, I promise you. And rest assured, she was laughing too. Nobody was angry. I told the nurses this story. They were laughing their heads off. Everybody had a good time, so don't get angry at me. Don't think I'm an evil person. It's just for fun. You know, you gotta find entertainment somehow. So yeah, that pretty much sums up the video. Don't worry, I would not have done this if the nurses didn't enjoy it as well. Everybody was laughing by the end of the day. Don't worry. Being in the hospital, sometimes it's, well, sad. And I had to try to make it as fun as possible while I was there. Thank you to all the nurses that were there for me throughout this journey. You guys literally saved lives. So yeah, that pretty much sums up the video. If you liked it, please leave a thumbs up. If you really liked it, subscribe. Comment down below what types of videos you guys want to see, what stories you want to hear. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.